Hey everyone, I'm sure there are quite a few of you that are confused and want to know what to do, especially if this is your first gacha. So after spending a few days playing the game, see what's up, looking up the beginner guide, pretty much all you need to know, and I'll do follow-up videos to clear up or add things as they come, so let's get into it. First off, let's get into the gameplay side of things. It's a little different than other games, as I mentioned in my previous video, and you'll want to know what to pull on and what not, especially since banners will be sped up to match CN. Unlike other games, pull currency, Sacred Fates is what they're calling this game. They don't have a premium and standard version. It's the same for all banners, so you can spend your luck site, the premium currency, which I'll keep calling it premium currency because honestly, everyone loses track of all these names. You can just spend it. You don't have to worry about whether you're getting the right version of the pool or whatever. Just spend it. You can just raw dog it. If you want to reroll, you're probably already grinding with multiple instances of blue stacks or whatever. I know not everyone is like that, but you won't need me to tell you what to do. I hope it's going well for you guys. I know sometimes it can get a little long, but you do have guest accounts on this game, so. The beginner banner, pull until that goes away. I'm fairly sure most people don't need me to say that, but pretty stuck, snared stuff. After that, you will want to focus on the debut banner, which is Gloria in this case. After that, you will try and move on to Baron Cole. Again, that obviously will depend on how lucky you are, but yeah. Tier lists pretty unanimously agree that they're still, to this day, top tier units on the CN/Taiwan version. They're just amazing units to pick up. Gloria just has so much in her kit. She's both a great support and also deals quite a bit of damage herself. And Beryl and Cole are just great damage dealers. I might do deep dives about them later. Ideally, I would like to get my hands on them first to like properly experience them and actually know what I'm talking about. I just got Gloria before this actually, but I haven't gotten much playtime with her yet. And yeah, I'll be trying to get Beryl and Cole. We'll see how that goes. But there's also the question of future banners, as we do have info thanks to CN. But in the meantime, who the hell do I invest into? You're probably thinking, I've seen tier lists, OP this, OP that, steer this, and steer that, but I don't have all that right now. What do? I don't want to break my account, get stuck, or just blow up. Okay, slow down. Let's get into that, yeah? So, Cillian Investment Guide. This guy is a veteran player that has amassed quite a bit of experience from the CN server. They have a Patreon and Twitter, so you can go check that out. They have really well put together guides on there, and I will keep referencing them because they just do great work for the game. And they also have those up on the official Discord. If you haven't checked that out yet, I highly recommend you do so. You shouldn't feel bad for investing into those lower quality characters, because without them, you can't get through story and even get to all like the cool, strong, pretty, hot characters you want. It'll definitely pay dividends and will serve as placeholders till you get characters to replace them and fulfill their roles better, or just do more on top of said role. It also helps in completing Voyage Memento missions that require you to level certain roles and ranks and all that stuff. I'll be making a separate video soon because I don't like half-assing things. We'll go through each of these characters, why they're going to be huge help in early game, what skills I think you should pick up, and why. Okay, that's great and all, but what do I do right now if I have no idea what I'm doing? Well, actually, there's a chill thing you can do you might not be aware of. You can just not, like, you can just not select a skill for right now. So for the time being, you can just not do it. I know that at least a couple indecisive people just shed a tear hearing that. Anyways, it'll be good enough to get you through the early stages of the game, which are pretty easy, especially if you've been diligent in following Voyage Memento and leveling characters, roll talents, etc. Which leads us to stamina and where to spend it. First off, don't get baited by the 240 stamina like me. It takes 16 hours to fully refill, so plan around that. And another thing, to be efficient, if you're trying to min-max, don't claim the good morning and good afternoon dailies before you've used up your stamina so that you don't overcap. So yeah, be careful before you hit that claim all button if you actually care about that. Otherwise, I mean, go right ahead, man. Who am I to stop you, right? Like, next up, don't be afraid to use stamina potions. I know, NC hoarders. Trying to min-max every little drop of stamina you get, squeezing it to the max, saving up for next year like a war is gonna break out. Like, but if you're trying to progress the game faster, just no way around it, okay? Chill out. Also, there are time-limited ones that you're gonna be acquiring through Voyage Memento, so even if you'd rather save them up for later, which is fine, well, it'd be a shame to miss out on free stamina, so don't forget to use them before they do expire. Yeah, keep track of that. If you're planning to spend money or don't mind investing some premium currency into it, refilling stamina with it is always an option. I know most F2P players will be opposed to that idea, and I mean, I get it, that's fine. Just want to mention that there's that as well, just so you know every means available to you you to progress faster. A quick add-on to that is that you probably, if you're free to play, you probably don't want to go past the first refill because it goes from 60 to 120 if I'm not mistaken, which 120 is almost a pull, and investing if an entire pull, like say you do that every day, that's gonna sting. Now, where to spend the stamina that we're refilling all of that stuff, huh? Well, it's gonna be pretty straightforward. You're gonna want to be doing the Fool's Journey and Crossing Worlds. The game will keep gatekeeping you and nudging you into a direction and back to the other. Much like when you get to a room and forget what you were going to do in the first place, head back to where you came from only to then remember why and go back and... Anyways, you'll be ping-ponging between those two a lot, so pay attention to what the missions want you to do, what level you're expected to be, or story stages, and head back to those crossing war stages because they give you character progression mats, but also that also progresses Voyage Memento, which gets you a bunch of much needed resources to progress your characters, as well as some memory shards and such, plus account experience. So make sure you frequently check what missions there are in there. Now, something pretty important that the game doesn't actually really tell you about is that developed missions autocomplete resource missions for you, so you don't have to worry about those, and that allows you not to waste stamina and your extra lord on them. You'll be clearing all those crossing world farming stages, and new ones get added as you level up. Only one really stands out. Don't replay any stages unless it's the end of the day and you want bonus rewards, and focus on memory shard stages. That's the one farming stage that stands out, as I just mentioned, and it's actually meaningfully different. Do these daily. Always make sure to take 3 SSRs max there, since they'll allow you to get their dupes. Or rarity, you can get those pretty easily without having to use the system, so don't put them in there. And then you're wondering, am I not gonna die with only 3 characters? No. You're fine. Always make sure to take 3 SSRs max there, since that'll allow you to get their dupes. The lower or AD characters, you can get their dupes pretty easily by just wishing, and also there will be a few that the game just outright gives you through Voyage Memento, like Angel, the healer, and the Crimson Falcon. Anyways, make sure that said SSRs that you're putting in there are the ones you actually plan on using, because shards are shared between them. It's a pool of, like, it'll be sure the SSRs that you put in there are the ones you actually plan on using, because shards are shared between them. It's a pool of shards that will be displayed on the screen, I believe, as you head into the stages, top center of the screen. Enemies literally die if you sneeze in their general direction, so trust me, you'll be fine. You can pretty safely ignore Spiral the Destinies until you're completely out of stamina, but however, you still want to do it because of the event that it's tied to, which is called Dawn, but you should always prioritize burning stamina to, well, not overcap. For a story person, that's where you want to spend your time. There's already a lot of content to stick your teeth into, so enjoy. I know that at the start of the game, it can be pretty overwhelming. You have all those different systems, events, game modes, and here's a red dot. Oh, here's another one. And holy your screen just turned into a Christmas tree. Note that you unlock some of these game modes as you level up your account, so it'll give you an idea of what's to come so you can prepare for it, and come back to this if you need. Here's what you want to be doing outside of what was already stated previously, and we will be starting off with talents. I briefly touched on those earlier, but do remember to level these up, especially for the roles of characters you are using the most, and focus on relevant stats, like attack for seekers or destroyers, HP/defense for defenders, etc. This changes a bit depending on what units you're currently using, but this will add up and help you quite a lot. Another thing that will be quite a nice boost to the characters that you do use are going to be starring them up, so pretty much like dupes. But you do want to do that for characters you are not using as well, because it triggers achievements, and these do end up giving you quite a bit of pull currency actually. And by the way, just like for your sanity, claim them in the quest tab thingy as soon as possible. They haven't added a claim all button yet for that specifically, and you'll be clicking until your fingers bleed if you let them play live. Bond. So you can pretty much leave this be for later. This is pretty insignificant gameplay wise. It's mostly there for flavor. It's people that like having extra voice lines, a profile picture of their favorite character, and all that stuff. Go ahead, engage with that. Another thing that you might miss out on if you're just too busy looking everywhere else is that there's this little altar thing called Austrarium. You just walk right out of your place and just keep heading right and up, and then you go check the tarot card altar thing, and there's just some free pool currency in there, so just get that. Cornucopia, that's the battle pass, so do remember to claim your weeklies there. Don't really need to add much more. I think that pretty much everyone has seen enough battle passes to get sick and tired of them. As for events, barrel event is pretty quick if you aren't planning to spend, so you won't have to worry about that too much. Coal event works fairly similarly to the battle pass, nothing much to add really. Voyage Memento and Dawn, I already mentioned earlier, so not to worry about extra stuff there. Promise of Secret Fates, you just come back here, level 10, 20, and 30 for a free 10 pool every time. Now, the PvP mode called Clash or Arena or both, whatever. You don't have to do too much of that, and it's pretty easy, especially early on. You're able to face under-leveled opponents. The AI is it's pretty garbage, let's be real. Anyway, you can just cash in free rewards basically. At the very least, even if you don't really vibe with that, do your daily 3 fights in there. Do have 5 attempts every day, although the facility currency caps out before you're done with them, at least from my experience. But you do get really good rewards on the line if you scroll down the list of these, and once again, don't forget to play every day because of that. And yeah, also upgrade your facilities. The currency used is specifically tied to it, and it literally takes 5 seconds to click a button, off you go. Also, you can reset what you've leveled and whatnot. Doesn't seem to be a cost, so you really don't have to worry about that. Now, the Tower of Conquest, another pretty important mode. You will, however, want to do that after you've burned your stamina, because that's going to be harder content, so you'll want to get stronger before going there. But also, it doesn't cost any stamina, so yeah. You have 3 lives in there, which only get consumed if you fail a stage, and they get replenished every 13 minutes. So remember to progress through it as much as possible, and do this weekly. Stage conditions will change with every weekly refresh, so we'll want to keep that in mind. Take the most adequate units into the fight. For example, in floor 2-1, as of time of recording, the mutation is active on the enemy. Mutation reduces physical damage taken by 60%, but increases magic damage taken by 60%. So by paying attention to this, and pitching in a bunch of mages, you'll completely annihilate the stage. Instead of wondering why your assassin or warrior looks like they're using a toy knife, okay? I know you people that don't like reading and just brute force through things, don't do that in this mode, or you're gonna have some pretty bad surprises. I'll probably also make a video compiling a bunch of useful tips for combat, but for now, you can refer to the in-game battle guides. I know some of you guys don't like reading, as I just mentioned, so. Anyways, let's move on to another thing you might not realize and miss out on due to how other games work. You can replace story stages without spending stamina to get the extra stars you're missing to get the milestones. So don't worry too much about it if you can't do 3-star the first time around. You can just get stronger, come back later, it'll be right there for you to do, and again, like I said, doesn't cost stamina, so very cool. And also, don't forget to clear the hard version of the stages for some extra schmeckles. That also doesn't cost stamina, so that's pretty cool. And speaking of extra schmeckles, here are some codes for those who stuck around this long, or just looked at the description, probably, most likely in fact. They're not that great. There's like one where it's pretty much a pool, but the rest is just a bunch of little things. But I mean, you know, it's pretty quick to claim, so we take those. But yeah, let me know if you have anything specific you'd like to know about, or cry about your luck in the comments. You know, let me know how terrible your polls went. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.